Hi, I'm going to talk to you now about wood selection, some of the design recommendations that I give to customers, layout of the instrument, how I achieve that, and some of the things I go through in order to make those decisions. So I have a set of wood here that I'm going to use for my demonstration today. This is a set of chocolate heart myrtle. It's really figured, super busy. It's got a lot of stuff going on. So one of the first decisions that I might try to make is which of the edges I'm gonna join. So this used to be one piece of wood. It was sliced like this. Then when we open it, that's where we get our book match. Okay. So the first decision we can make is, are we gonna join this edge or close the book, open it on the other edge, or will we join this one? They're both really interesting. I'm gonna use my tenor outline. This is big enough for a tenor, so I'm gonna consider using it for a tenor first. I don't like to waste wood, so it's really interesting that once you lay the body outline down, how much the wood sort of changes and transforms before your eyes. The body outline draws your eye to some of the figure, which I like. In this case, what I love about this is this beautiful curve with like these sort of furry details in the wood. It's really interesting, yes. So, and then it also has this beautiful openness down the center, which I like because
almost
that
like an hourglass, like
right.
one part of an hourglass or something.
Very,
right?
very interesting.
Yeah.
So that is really a great looking layout. Probably going to be my favorite. I'm going to turn it over, and I flipped this around because I noticed when it was this way, like it seems like the figure's going out like that, which I want it to go top down, you know, from the top of the instrument to the bottom of the instrument. So this is really interesting too. If I were going to leave it in this orientation, I might take out some of the middle material. Let me just show you what I might do if I were going to leave it like that. I think I like the other way better, but I might take out some of the middle material, and then I would get a little bit more of the...
You get a little bit of that.
Little bit
was
of
the
cheeky.
hourglass, but
yeah,
now
you
it's
get
cheeks.
kind of cheekiness, and you get a little more of this pretty line here. I still like the other way better. So let's turn it back around and go here. So when I've gone through this process before. So when I was looking at this piece of wood, I thought this really just mimics the shape of the instrument, just not this big. Like I couldn't push it up anymore. I like pulls like this that go to the waist.
And that's a little bit above the waist, and you don't have, just push it up for a second just so that
I don't have
you just
any
run
more.
out of wood.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other thing I could do is I could pull it down, then I don't have any of that, you know, that really cool curve right there. So I thought, you know, that just looks like a smaller, it would look better. So I laid down the soprano outline. And this doesn't happen very often where I just want it to be in a smaller format, but in this case, I love the way that curve of the figure mimics the curve of the outside of the instrument. It's just stunning. So I'm going to use this for a soprano body because that is just really, really gorgeous.
Now, what other decisions did you have to make, like with the eventual owner? So you've now decided on their wood and their this is a person that wanted a soprano, but you saw this piece of wood and you said, oh, it's going to be perfect for him.
Yes, so he also wanted to use the Cascade Series package, which is the board-over cedar neck, a maple fretboard, and a maple bridge, but he wanted to know if I thought this particular set of wood would look better with one or the other. In this case, I have actually all the color-wise, my instinct told me it was going to look good with either one, but I wanted to see, you know, and I don't have a soprano fretboard, so we're just gonna lay down this one. And I'm just gonna approximate where it's gonna go. I've got a sound hole here so often I do this. I usually do this before I'm gonna lay out decide which plate is gonna be the top or the back. But in this case, I just wanted to get an idea of what this was gonna look like with the different components. So I have them all here. Another thing I love about this figure is this opens up sort of to accommodate the bridge. It's so cool. This is going to be so much fun to see how it evolves and finishes. So as you can see, this looks great with the ebony package. That's gonna be a stunner. But let's look at it. He wanted to use the Cascade series, and I love it with the Cascade series. It really, to me, I like this better. It brightens up the wood a little bit, in my opinion. So we decided to go with Cascade series. I love it in this case. So that's just one example of sort of how obsessively I lay out the instruments, and the decisions that I make are not done. I take many, many factors into account. There are at least as many additional ones, like when I'm laying out the sides, when I'm deciding where to place this, slide it up and down the wood to get the best placement for a rosette and the sound hole, which plate I decide to use as the top versus the back. Will features be obscured? Will features be accentuated because of where the bridge placement is? All of those things I consider when I'm laying out the instrument.
And I said a few weeks ago, I was saying how this is probably one of the most time-consuming parts of our build process.
It certainly is.
And I think people can get an appreciation why. And I know people watching are going to be tempted to say, oh, I want to participate in this part of the process.
Right.
Like I want pictures of the different options. Excuse me. And the different layouts, and and we just can't do that.
It's just super time consuming.
The pictures
As you can see, I'm sitting here, spending a lot of time just doing this for one plate and one instrument. So getting photographs of all of it,
but I think that's
if you want to be involved in that process,
come visit us.
You need to come visit. So that's what a visit will get you. We'll pull down your wood, we'll pull out the different bindings, we can make all those decisions together. So if you want to come visit, that's a great reason to do it. Otherwise, you just trust me to do it and know that I'm going to really consider all the options and get the best aesthetically out of your wood that's possible.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks so much.